I'm going to shock you with this. Amen Thompson.
Wow! Oh my goodness! I thought you were going to go AD. Thank you.
What is up, basketball fans, and welcome back to Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast, brought to you by J-Bar M. J-Bar M Barbecue's just a couple blocks away from Toyota Center. They had a great weekend with Vernon Maxwell's golf tournament, charity golf tournament this past weekend. The boys were out there filming some stuff with J-Bar M Barbecue being there as well. So shout out to J-Bar M. Shout out to Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary Mix. They're America's #1 Bloody Mary Mix for a reason. Go get your Zing Zang today. And shout out to Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. I'm your host, Tony Strankman, joined always by Joshua Basketball Garcia. How we doing, bud?
Ooh, I love the nickname. Thank you. I'm happy, man. We get to talk ball again, and the way that we're going to structure these shows out, it'll perfectly line us up to regular season tip off. The TV networks are crazy. Everything's changing, but you know what stays the same? Zero Gravity Podcast. Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Today we're going to be previewing the Southwest Division. We're going to go through each division, and then we're going to do conference previews and award selections, preseason, all that kind of stuff before the season starts. I think I timed it up right. I'm not good at math. I'm not really particularly good at it in any way, shape, or form, but I think I did it right. I think we have enough room to be able to do that before the season starts, but we're starting with our division, the Southwest Division in the NBA. But before we get to that, we got to talk about the Pretzelized Fantasy Football League. Shout out to Pretzelized, by the way, man. I hammer these things all the time. The cheddar ones, the honey mustard ones, the sea salt ones, they're all incredible. Shout out to Pretzelized. They're sponsoring our Fantasy Football League draft starting today. As you're listening to this, we're recording this on Sunday, August 24th, but today, Monday night, we're doing the Monday night draft lottery for who gets to have the number one pick in the draft. We got a fun game set up for a lottery system. It's going to be a lot of fun, deal or no deal kind of vibe, but tune into our YouTube at Apollo HOU. At 7 p.m. tonight, we're doing the draft lottery to find out our draft positions. And then Thursday, we're having the live draft from the office at 7 p.m., I believe, as well. On Apollo HOU YouTube, you can tune in. You can participate by sending in super chats. We're going to have all that information for you on our social medias at Apollo HOU this week. But you can see how much a super chat will get you. You can make player selections, force a trade. You can do all kinds of things, weekly punishments. It's all going to be in there. So you can participate as the viewer. Make sure to go get your Pretzelized today, this week, before our draft content starts, because the best thing to snack on during a draft or any football game is Pretzelized. It's incredible. They're the best. I love Pretzelized. So shout out to them for sponsoring this. Can't wait for the draft. Team Zero Gravity is going to be a lot of fun. I made a full draft cheat sheet, and I don't know if anyone's looked at it yet on our team, me, you, and Sheldon.
No.
We need to look at that before the draft starts, because I put my needs and wants, backup plans, and then stayaways. I did all of that on Friday. It's going to be intense. There's a cash prize at the end of the season. There's a Pretzelized year supply on the line here too for the winner of the championship in this league. So shout out to Pretzelized. Shout out to you, Josh, and Sheldon's going to be joining us here soon as well. But I'm excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun content. So shout out to Team Zero Gravity. Make sure you participate by sending in those super chats on Thursday. It's going to be a lot of fun from that office. There are a lot of activities. There are a lot of craziness going on. It's going to be a fun draft.
I'm going to rig the super chat. I'm going to have one of my friends say, draft Kyle Pitts 1-1. And whatever happens after that is whatever happens. I'm going to have to live with the results. We're going to have to live with the results. And
I think we're starting that after round 3. I think it's when the drafting actually happens. But
look, hey, I'm just saying, 2 Dolphins max and Kyle Pitts will be involved in some capacity. I don't know if we'll be looking at him from the waiver wires or what's going on. I don't know if people are going to avoid him. I think last year, totally unrelated, but something was crazy in my work fantasy league. They totally avoided Malik Neighbors. I think it was until the 4th or the 5th round. It was one of those things where you look up and you're like, I get that Daniel Jones is in this mix at this time because that's what it was. But I will never allow us to miss out on a rookie receiver. I mean, Emeka Egbuka, is that his name?
Egbuka, yeah.
Egbuka, man, he is going to be. Man,
he's nuts.
I'm just saying. Round 5, 6, 7. If he's there, man, we're there.
He's on the list of ones. Don't worry, he's there. But yeah, shout out to Pretzelized. Tune in tomorrow night or tonight as you're listening to this Monday night on our YouTube. We'll be doing the draft lottery, and Thursday night we'll be doing the full draft with all of the teams beyond the diamond, around the circuit, the Get Back Coach, Zero Gravity, Summit State of Mind. We've got them all there. Pretzelized has a team as well. So shout out to Pretzelized. Make sure to tune in and participate during the draft this week. But on today's show, we're previewing the Southwest Division. We're going to go through the standings from last season. We're going to talk about their major upgrades and all that kind of stuff, kind of pick where they're going to fit in the standings this season. Then we're going to do division MVP, Depoy, and Roy. Rookie of the Year. So we're going to pick all of those at the end of the show after we talk about all the teams. I'm excited to get into actual basketball talk for the first time in several months, it feels like.
We need this. We needed this for the soul. We've cleansed our mind over the past couple months, but the soul needs and the soul wants are coming back. And I don't know. How could you not be romantic about the Southwest Division? I'm kidding.
I don't know. It seems like a lot of fun. It might be one of the most fun divisions in basketball.
Yeah. Very top heavy though.
Very top heavy. At the bottom of it's a little rough, but you might get 3-4 good teams out of this.
Sure.
Decent teams. Hovering around 500 or better. I think we're going to have that in this division. It's going to be a tough division, one of the tougher in basketball, but we'll start from the bottom. We're getting them out of the way, just like we didn't do last year. We're getting these out of the way first. We're going to start at the bottom and move our way to the top. The first team we'll talk about is the bottom of the division from last season, the New Orleans Pelicans, 21-61. My only note on this team is Zion fat and or healthy, and I don't think he's either.
No.
History would say he's not.
You said that you were going to stop calling him fat, but it's so easy.
It's been like 2 years.
We got to send you to Zion anti-fat camp rehab. I mean, this is really messed up. I'm trying to look at the bright spots on the squad. I mean, Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fears. I mean, Zero Fears. That's the best jersey ever. Can't wait to see that on NBA League Pass or whatever the situation may be. I know we're going to see them 4 times a year, Prime. Of course. But I'm excited. Yeah, Amazon Prime. The Kings and the Pelicans and the Bulls, they're all going to get their one government-mandated, NBA-sponsored mandated matchup. So I don't know what to say positively about this team. If they get 25 wins, I'll be ecstatic for them. I mean, no CJ McCollum. Jordan Poole is going to be putting up Desmond Bane numbers. I mean, he's probably 24 shots a night, 22 shots a night. It's going to get real gnarly over there, but tickets will be cheap. So good for them. They get to see Jokic for like $8 or something like that. Good for them.
Yeah, I remember going to a Pelicans game back in 2014, the spring of 2014. I was there for spring break in high school. It was my last year, it was senior year, and went to New Orleans for spring break. Fun. Went to the Smoothie King Center, went to the Blender. Got to see a young AD, like year 3 AD, which was sick, or year 2. Sure. Saw him. I saw Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, and DeAndre Ayton, Lob City back in 2014. Ooh. So they were pretty good back then. So that was a good game. I think it was like a 1 or 2 point game at the end of it too. Will Ferrell was there. Kevin Hart was there. Strange group in New Orleans to view an NBA game like during the weekday. But other than that, I haven't experienced any good Pelicans basketball since then. If Zion is healthy and stays and plays like 72 games this season, the Pelicans will win significantly more games than 21. We've never seen Zion Williamson play more than 37 games in a season.
Be nice.
I know. I wish he was healthy. I wish he cared. I wish this organization cared, because I feel like it could be good. It's just they have 10 fans and they're very loyal. Some of the most loyal guys you've ever seen. Some of them are my friends that I've worked with in the past, like 10 years ago. And it's tough sledding for the New Orleans Pelicans. And their team they got Jordan Poole on the team now. Is there a renaissance for Jordan Poole? I don't think so.
No. They got significantly worse, and it's just going to be one of those free fall situations. And I hope that Jose Alvarado still gets his, government mandated 20, 25 minutes a night, and we get to see a little bit of chaos there. I think there'll be a fun and interesting League Pass watch. But other than that, like I said, there's not many bright spots in the blender for 41 games a year. It's going to get real ugly, real grimy, and it's only up from here, I suppose. If they continue to tank and really fall into that, okay, we're in the West. Obviously, it's a terribly hard conference to compete in consistently. They tank for 2-3 years, whatever the situation is. We might look up in 2028, 2029 and be like, oh, everything's working out. Or we'll look back and be like, oh, purgatory again for the 4th, 5th, 6th year in a row. So we'll see how it turns out. But Derek Queen will be sick. I'm excited for that.
Sure. Zero Fears. Zero Fears is an awesome jersey. So they got that going. Like the neon green Zero Fears jersey. Yeah.
Ooh, Darty exclusive. Right.
Yeah, that you'll see that across fraternities across the South at every Darty. That's enough about the Pelicans. I'm over them. That's it. We'll talk about a semi-fun team. San Antonio Spurs. Hold on, before we go to them. How mad would you be if you're a Pelicans fan and you watch the Spurs and the Mavericks, who won respectively 13 and 18 more games than you, jump you in the lottery to pick significantly higher than you did in the NBA draft? That's tough.
The worst. Hate it. Gotta hate it.
That's tough. But the San Antonio Spurs, they went 34-48. They drafted Dylan Harper. They extended De'Aaron Fox to a max deal for some reason. Question mark on that. A guy that's like good, but not max worthy. I don't think it's not like a Brandon Ingram situation where you traded for him and gave him a deal like immediately. They waited. They waited a significant amount of months, and they were like, you know what? Yeah, we'll give him a max. What about this timeline? We don't need it. I think the only thing that makes sense is that you could trade him for Giannis and not have to find any more money, essentially. However, does Giannis want to go to San Antonio? I don't know. He wants to go to Texas. I know that.
Yeah, no income tax, buddy. That's it. I mean, it's some teams. Some are saying there's 3 teams in Texas, and one of them's got to stick at this point. But I like Carter Bryant, honestly. The more and more I watch film on him, I'm liking Carter Bryant almost as much as I'm liking Dylan Harper. That team is going to be real fun until it ain't. It's going to be real fun until it's not. And I just can't wait to see the Spurs just be good enough to where I can like appreciate Wemby really falling into his own, and hopefully everything goes all smooth for him this season. But once they start beating those Rockets, it's going to be a problem. I said it on Summit State of Mind. I'm going to enjoy this Spurs season while they, are still trying to figure everything out and not a 55, 60, 65, win team juggernaut. But I like those. I like those guys over there. Carter Bryant, Dylan Harper, Wemby. I mean, it's a fun situation. Like I told you last episode I was on, Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson kind of just falling into their own little version of purgatory. That's going to be an interesting lineup, how everything's going to get put out, especially no Popovich this year. I mean, things are changing over in San Antonio.
They are changing. But yeah, Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, Carter Bryant, De'Aaron Fox. Like your guard room's solid.
Fun, really fun.
Very fun. Obviously, you got a couple rookies in there. That's going to have to take some time to get used to in the NBA. Some of them come in and they just light fire. But I would assume that there's going to be some rookie bumps. Maybe you get a bump from Stephon Castle this year 2 bump. Maybe he figures out a jump shot a little bit. And he's not just chucking shots up because Fox and Wemby are both out. Like, I understand that Castle's numbers weren't great last year because of that. A lot of shots, a lot of volume. He didn't have to do that this year. So that'll be fun. I think they're better. How much better? I don't know. 34, they're going to be better than 34. They're going to be in the 40s, I would assume.
Mid 40s is the, I think, average. If you were median mode, this situation, I think 45 would be a good number.
Yeah, I think they cap out at like 48, but 42 is kind of their floor, maybe 41.
Definitely.
Like 500 is their floor, and then they can get up to 48 wins, which may or may not even get you in the play-in at this point. Like
we don't know.
The Grizzlies were 48-34 last year and played in the play-in. So that's tough, but exciting things. Another year of Wemby. Hopefully everyone stays healthy and you get to watch good basketball in San Antonio. I hope that they don't play good basketball and everyone's healthy. That'd be fun for me. But yeah, they're going to be better this year. It's just how much better? Like, I don't know if they're taking a 15-game jump here.
I don't know. I feel like it's almost written in the stars. I just see if everybody stays healthy and Stephon Castle doesn't shoot under 30% from 3 and kind of expands on his little game that he was doing with his driving. I don't know. I'm kind of all in on the Spurs right now on that little wagon. But like I said, don't get too good this year because I don't want to hate you until next season.
I'm already on the hate train. We opened the season against them, so I'm excited about that.
Okay,
I hate the Spurs. Next team, my team, Dallas Mavericks, 39-43. Last season, they traded Luka Doncic. Season from hell. Every single player got hurt. Kyrie Irving's out for most of the season this year, but they drafted Cooper Flagg, So that's a plus. They got the number 1 pick and got Cooper Flagg. I think this team is a lot better than 39-43, even with a significant amount of injuries again this season. Like, I think they can just kind of skate by a little bit better than 39-43. I'm not saying significantly. Like 41-41 is what I'm pushing there. But if you get Kyrie back midseason, you can make a late playoff push, maybe sneak into the 6th seed if you played really well in the first half of the season. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. I think their ceiling's around 50 wins. I think their floor is kind of what they were last year, 39-43. I think it's a really, really well-rounded team if healthy. And with Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson on your team, I don't know how healthy they'll be. I hope they're healthy. I pray to God that they're healthy. This team's a lot of fun when healthy. They're not going to be healthy until February, March when Kyrie comes back. And by then anything could have happened. Like Anthony Davis's eye just like detached from his skull during the season last year against the Hawks and just played through it and they didn't do anything. But we have a real trainer now, a real athletic trainer, a qualified one that has actual certification. So that's a plus, maybe that'll help.
Definitely.
year.
Yeah. Astros take notes for sure.
Yeah, something like that.
It's been a real weird year for injuries, especially in
Mhm.
the Houston sports realm, and I'm sure you feel it too,
Yep.
obviously. This Mavs team is I don't want to say a unit, but when Kyrie comes back and if everybody stays healthy throughout the year, which is a big what if, like you said, there's about a 20% chance I think everything all works out there and
Yeah.
you get like 55 plus wins, which can totally happen if everything stays afloat and everybody stays afloat. But I need to ask though, who was that guy that was scoring a bunch of points towards the end of the season?
Brandon Williams.
He was a guard. Was that his name?
Brandon Williams. Yeah,
Brandon
he's on the
Williams.
team.
Yep.
He got a one-way deal. He was on a two-way deal last year, and they gave him a one-way
Give
deal this year.
him a one-way ticket back to the G League once Kyrie comes back. But hey, he'll have a good time over there until then.
Yeah, I mean, they brought back Dante Exum, Brandon Williams, D'Angelo Russell. That's kind of your point guard room right now until Kyrie comes back.
Yep.
It's not ideal. I think D'Angelo
No.
Russell's pretty good. I'm not expecting him to be anything crazy, but I think he fits in this offense. He's played with AD in the past. Like, he's going to keep you afloat, and that's all we need him to do for the first 45, 50 games. And then Kyrie comes back, and then he can take over. D'Angelo Russell goes to the bench. Things kind of work out smoothly. If Cooper Flag is what everyone thinks he is, Zach Lowe's incredibly high on him, and that's a trustworthy source for me. If Zach Lowe's all the way in on this guy, I'm all the way in on this guy. I was already in. He's a Duke guy, and we got him on my team. So all the way in on this guy already. But if Zach Lowe's that high on Cooper Flag, and he just comes in and is like 15, 7, and 3 a night, like, sure, I'm all in on that. AD is going to carry your load. D'Angelo Russell can do some things. Klay Thompson, if he hits shots, PG Washington, Daniel Gafford, good roster. Wouldn't say it's a great roster, but when healthy, I think they could beat anyone. And then it's going to be hard to beat them because they're literally 6'9" and taller throughout the entire starting lineup, except for point guard. It's like crazy how big they are.
I'm scared.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
that part's really fun and intriguing because we haven't seen this in so long. And now it's starting to make a comeback. People are getting bigs, double bigs, all that kind of stuff. And now we're just quadruple bigging them, like 6'9" and taller. If you're in the lineup, that's what you got to be.
The pendulum is swinging backwards, and it feels good because you're seeing like the total offense explosion that we felt over the past 8-9 years, but you're seeing it totally like in a different light now. So you're still seeing 120 point, 125 point nights, the games that you want to see, but then you're seeing Derek Lively like or Anthony Davis even just like double big situations, and they're all thriving in that. It feels like it's almost like Tyson Chandler just died for our sins, and we're seeing everything be played through him. It's a beautiful thing. I don't know if we'll ever get a Ben Wallace back or maybe another Tyson Chandler. Obviously, people like to compare to Derek Lively, but there's some centers that have just kind of I almost want to say kind of passed away in regards to how NBA fans look at them. But the pendulum's swinging back, and I don't want to say it starts with the Southwest Division, but the Mavericks give a really good example of what can really happen when you commit to the big situation. If we look up in April and early May and we're like, oh, this team has 55 wins and everything all worked out, I'd be more than happy with it. For you, of course, for you.
For sure. And if things don't work out the first 25 games and you need another guard, Daniel Gafford just signed a new contract and is a very tradable contract. It's not a huge amount of money. I think he got $60 million, 59 point whatever. Even though Clutch was trying to say it was 66 and over the threshold, so he couldn't be traded this season. Didn't happen. He's very tradable, very easily. People could want a big man to be put in their defensive lineups and can go catch lobs and do rebound and do all these other things. Gafford's going to play a good amount of minutes. I think if Derek Lively doesn't take a step, then Gafford's going to be your starter. So you got options there, and you could trade for another guard if you needed to, but I don't know if they will. Who's to say? I think they'll be better than last year. It's just how much better injury-wise is the real question. If they're not injured, then they're going to be really fucking good. If they're injured, they're going to be pretty much the same team as they were last year. That's kind of where we're at.
Sure. And we're also scarred from the Luka trade where we look at the Mavericks and we're like, oh my God, how could they ever do that? How could they ever give this up? But then you look on the back end and you see Anthony Davis, who, when healthy, obviously, again, so many different parameters have to be correct in order for this to really go down the way that Mavericks fans want. But you look at that team and you're just like, this is still a juggernaut. I mean, this team is a really good squad. And with Cooper Flag, of course, I mean, this is that damn lottery, your little smirk on your face when you knew that everything got rigged into your favor. And you just, I don't know. It was so poetic. And I'm kind of like, I really do think, I said this on Summit State of Mind, but I think Cooper Flag is going to be the most polished rookie, especially like scorer, that we've seen since Kevin Durant in 2007. Like this is one of those guys that, you know what I mean? Zion is one thing, but he was, I don't want to say a one-trick pony. I mean, he was never good at shooting threes. He was just one of those paint presence where it was just showtime every day when he was at Duke. But you see Cooper Flag and you see the different levels that he can play at. He seemed like a great defender in summer league in the limited action we saw. And then he seemed like a pretty solidified scorer, you know, obviously being 18. I mean, he should be 19. You know what I mean? He's the youngest player drafted since LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a great thing that we get to at least see his career blossom. And like I said, I'm not going to hate him until he starts beating us. So I'm going to enjoy this little honeymoon phase of just prospecting and enjoying a nice young basketball player for the time being. I'm glad you get to enjoy it too.
I think the thing with Flag is like, I don't know if he's Amen Thompson level of defender, but he's probably pretty close. I would assume, like the way everyone talks about him.
Sure.
If he comes in and has like a rookie year, first year, full year of Amen Thompson type of defensive impact on this team, and he's able to guard 2 through 5, essentially, that's a huge help to your team.
Man.
Because then you got AD guarding whoever you need to down low, Derek Lively or Daniel Gafford guarding the biggest guy on the team. PJ Washington has locked up numerous people throughout the last couple of seasons with the Mavs. Like, you've got a lot of defenders. The problem was last year that you couldn't score points, even though you were defending well when guys were healthy. Now, I think you can score. I think there's going to be real offensive sets that you can run and not have to worry about injuries for the first week of the season. After that, who's to say what happens? But
enjoy it while you got it.
Yeah, if Cooper Flag comes in and averages like 14, 5, and 5, but he plays some of the best defense on the team, like, that's a huge win. That's a huge boost for your team. Helps the spacing. Still a threat if he's scoring 14 points a night. Like, you got to watch out for him. And then if Kyrie comes back, then all of a sudden everything can kind of take off from there.
Yep. I mean, if you look outside of and I kind of mentioned this too, because, you know, we look back at a year with the 2024 draft class, like we kind of start to see everybody kind of figuring it out. Obviously, it's way too early to tell still. But that 2025 draft class, other than Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, and Cooper Flag, I don't know. Jeremiah Fears was one of those players. He was one of those players that just he would put up shot after shot. I mean, he was almost a Trae Young hybrid, it felt like sometimes. And then you see Trae Johnson, same thing. He put up a bunch of shots at UT, but obviously he's this weird, like, so crazy, like, untapped potential scorer. And there's a whole other subject, obviously, but I'm just thinking about that. He like dribbled it off of a player's leg back to himself in the summer league. Man, cool. That was nice. But
it's cool.
The point all I'm trying to say is that this draft class is one of those things where, like, it's pretty top heavy, but I think long term it's not going to be better than 2024. I don't know. Who's to say?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
So good for Cooper Flag. He deserves what he has right now.
I'm excited.
Starts beating us, then we got problems.
It's gonna be a shit division for years. It's gonna suck. It's
gonna be 10 years. It's gonna
be our childhood all over again. We're just every team is good, and it's gonna suck the whole time. Next team, they finished second in the division last year. The Memphis Grizzlies, 48-34. Ja Morant is still on the team. Jaren Jackson Jr. got an extension, I believe, for a lot of money somehow. And then they traded Desmond Bane for KCP and Cole Anthony, I believe. And they fired their coach at the end of last season too. So not my favorite situation in the league, especially when your best player played like 60 games one time in his career so far. And he's very young. That's not great. And Jaren Jackson Jr. doesn't like rebound. He doesn't like to rebound in any way, shape, or form for whatever reason, but he won a depoy one time, and they're going to be good enough to win 40 games. Are they getting to 48 again this year? I don't know. Maybe firing the coach helped, and they got new offensive sets, and they're going to let Ja Morant drive and all that kind of stuff, and he's going to start dunking again, and then all of a sudden this team's good again. I don't know if that's happening. I'm lower on the Grizzlies than I was last year for obvious reasons. I think they're going to be good. I don't know how good, though. Like, I think they're right around the 500 range.
Sure. I mean, you got to remember, though, like, good and fun are such a Venn diagram type thing in basketball, where, like, you could see the New Orleans Pelicans when they drafted Zion. Obviously, they were not a great team, but, like, they had a lot of fun over there. They sure had a lot of fun.
Sixers last year. Not a good team in any way, shape, or form. Fun to watch.
Yep. Quentin Grimes, I mean, 40 balls. He put up multiple 40 balls.
Still not signed, by the way.
That's definitely
24th.
something I don't know. I think that's one of those things you look at and you're like, this usage is so strange. And maybe he should have won the Desmond Bane Volume Shooter of the Year award because he was just buddy. I get he was more efficient than most, but he was
chucking, man.
He was chucking. We haven't seen chucking like this since like Rockets James Harden, I'd say. It was a tough time, but
Yeah.
good for him. And good for this Memphis Grizzlies team. So they'll stick around. I don't think that they'll ever be to a point where they'll get 50 wins this season. Cole Anthony is on the Bucks. I just forgot. I totally forgot that happened.
Sure.
But yeah, he just totally got up out of there. So I don't know. He's going to essentially the Memphis Grizzlies of the East as well. I mean, Giannis is their only player who's worth a damn right now. I don't even want to.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we could send Kevin Porter Jr. to basketball purgatory, but
the Grizzlies have Ty Jerome.
Sure.
About that.
Sure. Desmond Bain, volume shooter of the playoffs award. Ty Jerome, he was having a good time, man. Good for him. What a weird run that he had. He'll fall right back into being a role player. I can't wait.
Yeah, this Grizzlies team is, I feel, comfortably in the play-in next year.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's kind of it.
42, 44, maybe. I don't know. John Morant started dunking again. I remember he almost got barred from dunking, and then he started throwing grenades at people. So
they told him to stop dunking, and all of a sudden he started dunking and throwing grenades in the crowd.
Yeah. He's
started to shift.
Yeah, the world is his basketball rim, and he's just throwing grenades into the rim. I guess I don't know what's going on, but
my buddy from college, from Birmingham Southern, he started sending me Instagram DMs of just like hoops highlights, like just edits where it's like a conversation or whatever, and it leads into an edit about someone. He sent me one about John Morant, and it was a nice one. It was fun, throwing grenades, making dunks, 3-point shots, all that kind of stuff. He sent me another one. We need to set the record straight for the young folks that listen to this. There was I know you've seen it, the video of a coach like going around to all of his young players who are probably 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and they're like, "Who's Melo? Who do you think of when I say Melo?" And they all say LaMelo Ball. And then it cut into a highlight montage of Carmelo Anthony, and I said, the good thing about our future children is that they will be raised in a Carmelo Anthony household. They will know Melo as Carmelo Anthony. They will not know LaMelo Ball as Melo. It will be Carmelo Anthony. I just need the record to be set straight there. Like, Melo is Carmelo Anthony. It is not LaMelo Ball. I don't care what people say. I don't care who's in the NBA anymore. Melo is Carmelo.
That's right.
LaMelo.
That's right. And 15 in Denver is Carmelo Anthony. Thank you very much. I used to actually, get Daryl Dawkins and Dominique Wilkins confused, and they, of course, high flyer dunkers, whatever. It was just because of the last name type thing.
Yeah, sure. But shout out to Jackson for sending those. Keep on sending them. It makes my day every time. He sent me another one. I haven't looked at it today, but I need to look. Shout out to Jackson. Last team in this division, though, your Houston Rockets. They finished 52-30, won the division last year. They got rid of Jalen Green. Plus, they got rid of Dylan Brooks. Kind of a minus, but not too big of a minus.
Big minus. Minus.
They added Kevin Durant. Huge plus. It's like, that'll do. That'll do, boys. 52-30 last year with this roster, and then you added KD to the mix. You added Clint Capella. This team's fun. It's going to be a lot of fun next year. It's a lot like my team, very defensive mindset, I think, with this whole roster, and then you added KD into it. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch it. It's going to be a fun team to consume as a fan of basketball, not as a Mavericks fan, but as a fan of basketball. I'm going to enjoy watching this team until they play the Mavericks. Then I'm going to hate them for the night, and then I'll go back to not hating them. Watching them objectively, that's going to be fun for me. Kevin Durant on this team is very fun. Hopefully he's able to speak to Jabari Smith Jr. and all these other young guys and give them some of his little superpowers, because it goes through osmosis, right? When you acquire an all-time great, it goes through osmosis. That's what the Portland Trailblazers are telling me.
Sure.
I'm excited about this team. Josh, give me the lowdown on your Rockets.
The scoop is the scoop. I think that the offense is going to be one of those things where I don't know if they're going to score 125 points at all in any one of the 82 games. But I definitely know for sure that it's going to be really hard to give up, more than 110 points. So you're just going to have to win those games in the trenches. And I really know that Amen Thompson and Alperen Sengun, obviously they are one. Amen Thompson just runs so fast, and Alperen Sengun plays so slow sometimes. Kevin Durant is one of those players. He's got to find his spots. Everything is going to – I think the first, 10 to 20 games, you're going to look at this team, and I don't know. We could be 12-8. We could be 10-10. But, I think everything will get figured out eventually. But it's going to take a lot of – it's a big learning curve, especially for the young guys. I mean, the whole – I know it's just technically one player coming into the new Rockets roster, but it's Kevin effing Durant. Like, you're going to have to fully alter your play style towards anything to gear his game, like how he plays. And I'm just interested to see how the young guys really react. And I don't know. There might be a run where we might win 30 out of 40 games, or there might be a run maybe 28 out of 30 or out of 40 games. But as for right now, I'm still to this day just in shock. I mean, what has it been? 2.5 months since KD got traded to us, and I'm still just uberly excited. I cannot wait. I mean, there's even, some Rockets tickets, for $12 to $15 after fees on an unsponsored app. But I'm really excited because I'm like, I thought that KD was going to price us out. I was looking at tickets on the website and I saw the cheapest seats for even like a New Orleans Pelicans game were like 35 like after fees. I was like, that's ridiculous. Like just to sit up there to see that team. No, I'm good. But I'm glad that there's at least some hope at the Toyota Center coming through. And Amen Thompson, big breakout year. I'm geeked. I'm geeked about it. I can't wait.
Yeah, my only things with this team is like they're going to play defense all out. Last year, you had Jalen Green as your like secondary scorer, your top scorer a lot of the nights without Alperen Şengün. And then you added KD. You fixed that problem. Like not worried there. Not a lot of guards and not a lot of like scoring throughout the roster. You got 2-3 guys that can score, and then the rest of them will give you your 10 points, 8 points every once in a while, and they'll bump up to 20, 25 points. They'll have those nights. But that's my primary concern is there's not a lot of guard play on this. I know KD can bring the ball up. Fred VanVleet, Amen Thompson is learning that. Like, you've got people to do it ball handling wise. There's just not a lot of guard play on this team. Don't like that. I know Sheldon's a big proponent for guard play, but he would tell me that this team is fine and I don't have to worry about them. He's a smarter basketball fan than I am. This is what I like. We both like guard play. You don't have a lot of that, but I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue in the regular season. Come playoff time, anything can happen going against the wrong matchup like you saw last year against Golden State. Like, it was just the wrong matchup for the Rockets. They just didn't have enough firepower to deal with Golden State's firepower. This year, you got KD. You've got the firepower you need. So that's my only qualm with this team is not a lot of guard play and not a lot of scoring outside of KD and Şengün. It's like, all right, who's going to get us the other 60, 70 points that you need tonight? And they could do it. It's just, can they do it on a nightly basis, and especially in the playoffs when it gets harder to score?
Definitely. Fred VanVleet, I think that him being the low turnover type guy that he is. I mean, I'm not saying he's the highest assists in the world, but he's a low turnover guy. He'll give you he has the right idea when he plays the game of basketball. Not even close to the most efficient shooter, most efficient 3-point shooter. But the guy's got a lot of heart. Undrafted, Wichita State education, bachelor's degree, the whole works, everything. So I'm excited to see him in an offense where there is a lot more like moving parts and a lot more action, because you would see like Jalen Green isolation sometimes, or even there'd be possessions where he'd just sit in the corner. And it's like a primary scorer is not necessarily doing that. I'm sure KD does it in spurts sometimes whenever there's set plays for him or Devin Booker or whatever the situation was in Phoenix. Dare I say Bradley Beal in some cases. I don't know how it's going to be and how it's going to turn out, but I'm really excited to see the overall growth of the young guys. I think that's the most important part. We're past that point in our rebuild where, there isn't small moral victories anymore. Like, you need to start, going for the jugular. And I don't know, 55, 58 wins, it's very much possible. Like I said, the ceiling is high, and the ceiling and the floor is pretty high as well. I mean, 52 and 58 wins, that's kind of what we agreed on. And I don't really see it, going away from that. So we'll see how it turns out. But like I said, Amen Thompson, outside of Kevin Durant, that is the player that I'm most excited for. Sheldon even said it himself when he hopped on Summit State of Mind. If he has a chance in an All-Star game this season, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I think it's about a 20 to 40% chance. But there is a window. There is a will. There's a way that in the Rockets, let's say we, end the All-Star break with 35, 40 wins. There's no reason as to why we can't have 2, if not 3 All-Stars on that team. I mean, KD, Şengün, and Amen Thompson. This could be great, and this really could be the tide changing type year for Houston.
I don't know. Yeah, I think 52 to 58 wins is kind of the window that they're looking at. I'm very comfortable in that one. I think, sure, 60 is kind of like their ceiling, but I think they're comfortably in that 52 to 58 window. Like, if they settle in at 55, no one's going to be upset in Houston. Like, 55 wins in the West is not a small feat. So I'm excited to watch the Rockets. I think they'll repeat as division champs this year. I think the Mavericks, Spurs, Grizzlies trio right there is competing for second, and they're all going to be kind of tied in with each other. If the Mavericks are healthy, I think they'll be exceeding that, and they'll be pretty comfortably second. But other than that, I think it's a fun division. It's a lot of young players. There's a lot of superstars in this division. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch them this year. Before we go, though, let's do some awards for the division itself. Your division MVP. Joshua Garcia.
I could go totally obvious take here. It's so hard to ignore Kevin effing Durant. How can I not choose him? I mean, let's say he plays at least 65 games this year, qualifies for some awards, and sure, there's no minimum for our zero gravity awards, but I'm really excited to see him just hopefully be healthy and ball out 28, 29 points, maybe 26, 27. That'd be really efficient numbers. Would be really nice.
Yeah, I'm going to match you on that. I'm with Kevin Durant as well because Anthony Davis repeatedly has not stayed healthy. If he plays 70, 72 games this year and is healthy, then that's easily in the conversation for it.
Right.
He's one of the better players in the league, but he's compared to Luka. Mavs fans are low on him because he's part of the Luka trade. He's not going to be accepted as what Luka was. It's different. I get it. He's still an incredible basketball player. And if he's healthy, he's definitely in that conversation for division MVP. He's going to be all NBA, all that kind of stuff. So that's, if injuries are off, I'm taking AD. Injuries aren't off, I'm taking KD, which is funny because KD's been injured a lot throughout his career as well. But he's been more healthy than AD has in the last year.
Hey, this is the year. KD 75 games. Book it.
Sure.
Maybe 70. I'd love it. That'd be nice.
Division Depoy, Defensive Player of the Year.
I'd be a fool not to say Victor Wembanyama, but you know what? I'll give you the floor for your pick because Victor Wembanyama. It's Victor Wembanyama. It's hard to not pick the guy. I mean, he's got lanky ass arms. He's 7'4". He's going to get 3.5 blocks a game, maybe 3. He's going to get 2 steals a night. I mean, you're going to see a bunch of 5x5s. I mean, this one of one type guy. But take the floor.
I'm going to shock you with this. Amen Thompson.
Whoa! Oh my goodness! I thought you were going to go AD. Thank you.
No, I thought about it. As soon as I wrote this out, I was like, it's Amen. That was the first name that came to mind. That was the first name I was going to write down. That's what I'm sticking with. It's Amen Thompson. He's going to be all NBA first team or NBA defensive first team. Like,
right.
He's stud. He can guard a lot of the positions. And I think in the future, like if you did this next year, then I'm talking Cooper Flag. Like I'm going Cooper Flag for this division.
Wow.
But yeah, AD's in the conversation. Wemby obviously is in the actual Defensive Player of the Year conversation. I just don't know how healthy he is. Like, obviously he played a lot his rookie year, and then last year he had the weird blood clot thing. And I'm just weary of a guy that's like 7'12" and lanky arms, lanky legs. Like, I'm just weary of that injury wise. So I'm going Amen Thompson. I know he's had some injuries in the past, but shorter. He's much shorter, and I don't have to worry about it as much.
Yeah, not as much bubble wrap on the guy, but thank you for that because I was gonna almost go down there, and then I was like, AD too. I mean, it's really like a 1A, 1B, 1C type situation. Like everybody's interchangeable. Everybody has their own quirks. Everybody has their own drawbacks. So I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Solidarity, brother.
Yeah, they all play defense in different ways too. Like Amen's gonna be able to guard anyone on the floor. Basically, he'll guard 1 through 5. AD, he can guard 3 through 5 roughly, 4 and 5 for sure. Wemby's going to stand in the paint and just try to block shots the whole time and steals and all that kind of stuff with his lanky ass arms. Like, all of them do it in a different way, and they're all great defenders in a different way. I think being able to guard 1 through 5 and get steals and blocks and stocks and all that kind of stuff means more to me than just standing in the paint and getting blocks.
Yep. Sure. I like that. You're very basketball realist right now. Maybe that's the off-season talking, and
it is.
We'll be fully delusional here in October, but thank you, man. That's very nice of you.
Yeah, give me to October. I'm going to be in full basketball and hockey mode at that point, and I'm going to be a fucking menace. It's going to be terrible.
Just out of it. I'm glad we get the pleasantries of little old Stone Strankman.
Yeah. This is going to be good. Division Rookie of the Year. Last thing before we go. Do we say it on 3?
1, 2, 3.
Cooper
Flag.
Yeah. He's the best player in the draft. He might be one of the best players in the draft that we've seen in a long time. Yep. He's the youngest player since LeBron to be drafted. It's like, he plays defense, he can score, he can rebound, he can kind of do everything. He can create on his own, he can dish, he just does everything. And I'm very, 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 very high on Cooper Flag. I know it's his rookie season and he's on a team with a bunch of all-stars, previous all-stars and great players and all that kind of stuff and title aspirations in the past, but no Luka Doncic. It's a new era. Cooper Flag, Rookie of the Year. Dylan Harper is obviously in this conversation. He looks sick. I like Dylan Harper a lot.
Definitely. Cooper Flag is one of those players where, again, it's generational. You can't just ignore it. Biases aside, he's that's Cooper effing Flag. Like, he's going to be one of the best rookies. He's going to be one of the best players in the league in some capacity, whether it be on defense or on offense, on everything. I mean, within the next, 5-6 years, I really think that he has that potential, and it's really going to land. It's going to land like an airplane on the runway. I don't see it ever really delving from that. But Carter Bryant and Dylan Harper, let's be clear, like these guys are really sick, and they seem to me, from what I've seen, very polished. Obviously, that Rutgers situation for Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey. I mean, what the hell? You put that awful team around those two guys, and what I think they ended up like 15-15 or something like that, or maybe 19-13.
They weren't good, yeah.
It was one of those
Mississippi State beat them, I think.
Yeah, you look at that squad and you're like, I get it's a team sport, but you think in basketball, you got two of the best players in the world. It's like, you put two Giannis's on Milwaukee. It's like they're winning 55 games. I don't really care who's around them, but in college, it's a little different like that. So I don't know. It's good and bad for the sport at the same time. I'm just I'm about 30% of the way I'm excited for the NBA as I am for college basketball next season. I think it'll be cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, very, very happy. You don't give a shit. I try my best to give a shit until March, and maybe this will be the year that I watch before December, but I don't know. I'm trying to manifest that out there. Put it out there.
No, I'll just put all the Mississippi State propaganda in here when I watch a game. And once SEC plays, I'll start watching more games here and there. But other than that, I don't.
Who's your Mississippi State guy this season?
It's Josh Hubbard again.
Oh, he's back.
Oh yeah, he's back, baby. He entered the draft and then withdrew from the draft and never signed an agent, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Maybe he'll be a late first round pick next season. Who knows?
Probably not. He's so short.
He was a big what was he, a big LeBron guy? He
is. He played on I believe Bronny's AAU team for a little bit there.
Really?
Or no, Dwayne Wade's AAU team.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, but
I think if Bronny stayed in college, I think he would have ended up actually being like one of the best players in the country.
He'd be pretty good
if he worked out, till his like junior at least, if not senior year.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, he kind of got screwed. He got a heart attack. So
yeah, literally had a heart attack, and people were like, "Fucking Bronny sucks." It's like he had a heart attack, man.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that he's even playing in an NBA game and still giving people like really good stats in the G League, like.
It's impressive.
Shades of his daddy when I see him on fast breaks. I'm just saying.
In the G League.
Yeah, in the G League.
The qualification there. So that's the Southwest Division preview. We're excited to get into actual basketball talk throughout the rest of this offseason. Obviously, we got training camp and preseason going to start in October, I believe. And then we got the actual season starting late October. So it's going to be fun previewing all these divisions, talking about actual real basketball and giving our takes and all that kind of stuff. I know we've been lacking in that department for the last 2.5 months roughly since the finals ended, and it's tough sledding in the offseason sometimes, especially when things don't go the way you want it to and you don't have the big trades and you don't have Giants free agency and all this kind of stuff. Like, it's just been, I know KD trade or free agency trade and all that kind of stuff, that was fun and all that kind of stuff, but that lasted for about 72 hours for me, and then I was just like, all right,
I'm still not over it.
I'm itching. I know that helps you a lot, but I got Cooper Flag, so we're kind of in the same boat. We both have exciting players and all that kind of stuff. So
sure.
We're gearing up. We're less than 2 months out from the actual NBA season. So we're going to get into all these division previews every week. Every Sunday we're going to record. Monday it'll come out. Be exciting, but tune into our Pretzelized stuff this week. The fantasy football drafts, Team Zero Gravity. We'll be participating, me, Josh, and Sheldon. The live stream on Thursday is going to be a blast, the full draft. But tonight, as you're listening to this, Monday night, we're going to be doing a live stream for the draft lottery. No conspiracies to be held there. It will be by the book, for the teams. It's up to chance, it's a lottery. So it'll be a fun one to tune into tonight on our YouTube at Apollo HOU. Make sure to hit that subscribe button wherever you're at on our audio platforms for Zero Gravity, Apple, Spotify. Hit that subscribe button to help us out. And we'll be back very, very soon with another episode of Zero Gravity. Shout out to our sponsors, J-Bar M. J-Bar M Barbecue is the best barbecue in Texas. I've been saying it. I can't stop saying it. They're incredible. Best barbecue in Texas. Shout out to Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. They got awesome Michelada and margarita mix. They've got that as well, but they're America's #1 Bloody Mary mix for a reason. Go get those ready to drink cans or the Blazing Bloody Mary mix. It's incredible. And shout out to Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint, best wings in Houston. We got 14 locations across the Houston greater area. We love Big City Wings, longtime sponsor of the show. We love them. Shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to you, Josh. And we'll be back very, very soon. Another episode of Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast.